Hello friends, I'm Professor Wayam Khan, and in today's video we are going to start the new lecture series of inventory models, and this is the first part of our lecture series. And before proceeding to that, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, and please watch previous videos also. Now, in inventory models, the theoretical part will be covered in today's lecture, as well as in this video, as well as in the next video, and then we'll move to the numerical part of this inventory models. Now, what do you mean by an inventory? So now in introduction, whenever you say an inventory, it is always related with a stock of physical assets. Now whatever you are having in your say raw materials, in your finished good stock, in your raw material stock, or whatever the material is being processed, so all these things which is having some economical value is called as your inventory, which can be either in the form of a material, it can be either in the form of a money, or it can be either in the form of a man. Okay, so material, money, or man, in the which is having some economical value, or which is having some economic value, and which is in stock, okay, it's called as inventory. Is simply, you can say that inventory is nothing but a physical stock of goods kept for the future purpose. Now whenever we are having some inventory, it is always kept for the purpose which is to be fulfilled in coming future. Okay, like if you want to prepare a cup of tea, so a cup of tea requires a cup of milk, say some water, some sugar, some tea powder. So all the ingredient must be available with you whenever you are going to prepare a cup of tea. So if you want to have a cup of tea in the morning, so you'll prepare, or if you want to have a cup of tea in the afternoon, you will get all the ingredients available before the preparation. So this kind of thing, or such a kind of keeping stock of the required material, is nothing but your inventory. Though inventory of material is an idle resource, it is not meant for immediate use. It is always essential to maintain inventory of goods for smooth functioning of an enterprise. Now, what do you mean by inventory management? Okay, whenever we are saying an inventory, so that inventory is to be managed by some you can say some technique, or some you can say functional units, okay, by some system. So the study or function of directing the movements of goods through the entire manufacturing cycle, from raw material to the inventory of finished good, orderly mannered to meet the objective of maximum customer service with minimum investment and efficient plant operation. This process is known as inventory control. So whenever whenever you are saying an inventory management or inventory control, it is a process, or it is a system which handles the raw material. It handles the raw material during its entire manufacturing cycle up to the finished good product, and keeping that finished good product in your inventory or in your stock, and doing all the things, or doing all these particular things, keeping in mind that the customer service should be, or the requirement of the customer should be fulfilled. You should give the maximum customers service, you should give the best service to the customer, and also keeping in mind that by giving best service to the customer, you should not waste a lot of money. So you should invest some minimum cost in the inventory with efficient plant operation. Now inventory management is nothing but your management of inventory, whether it is related with your raw material, whether it is related with your uh, finished good material, whether it is related with your in process material, or whether it is related with your indirect inventory. It is management of all these things with optimum use of the resources, with the minimum use of the amount, and with maximizing the customer service. Okay, this is called as inventory control. Now there are two types of inventories, uh, and these two type of inventories are direct inventory, which affect or which are directly involved with the cost of your inventory, and there is indirect inventory. So we'll see what do you mean by direct inventory and what do you mean by indirect inventory. So direct inventories play a direct role in manufacturing and become a bigger part of finished goods. They are further classified in three groups. Now this direct inventory is nothing but you can say it is the material or the inventories which are related with your product. Okay, like if you are manufacturing you can say a gear blank, then if you are manufacturing a gear, then the gear blank which is used as a raw material for your gear is it will be called as direct inventory, because it will get converted into a finished product. So whatever things which are involved, which are associated, or which will get converted into your finished product, into your finished good, is called as direct inventory, or which are the inventories which are related with your finished product directly are called direct inventory. They are further classified into three groups, like raw material inventory, where the material which is required to manufacture the goods, or you can say manufacture the product, is called as raw material inventory. So this is work in progress inventory, where machine can where the number of the part will go through number of machines. So that part is a part of your work in progress inventory. So finished goods inventory, where you keep all your finished products in a warehouse, in a storage, in some stock room. So like this, we'll see them in detail. Now raw material inventories are provided. Why we keep raw material inventories? It is to provide the inventories are provided for economical bulk purchasing. Whenever you are purchasing in a bulk, so that reduces your cost, and therefore it is economical to purchase in a bulk. That's why we keep raw material inventories. Like if you want to produce 100 parts, and uh, getting only 100 you can say raw material pieces of raw material is not economical. So you know that in coming days you will need to produce some more similar kind of parts, so you order more than your 100 numbers. Like you order for 200, you order for 400, 500. So that thing gets economical, because the transportation cost gets reduced, then lot of taxes get reduced. So therefore it is economical to keep raw material inventory. To enable production rate changes, to cope up with your production rate, the raw material inventory is provided to provide production buffer against transportation. In case of some transportation issues, you can use this raw material. And then some seasonal fluctuations, where some parts are more required in particular, some products are more required in particular season, then it is always good to have some raw material inventory. Then work in progress inventories are provided to enable economical lot production, to consider the variety of production for replacement of base, to maintain, it is the most important, to maintain uniform production even if amount of sales may vary. So in order to keep your production uniform, you keep work in progress inventories, or you maintain some work in progress inventory. And there is the third type, the finished good inventories, and they are provided for maintaining of self delivery to allow stabilization of production level for sales promotion. So these are the three types of inventories. Direct inventories. Now we'll move towards indirect inventory. These inventories are related with your product, finished product, but they do not become a part of the finished product. Your machines required some oiling, some greasing, some petrol, some lubricant, some office material is also required, some maintenance material is also required to keep the things working. So they include those items which are necessary for manufacturing, but they do not become part or component of the finished product, like your maintenance material, okay, some consumables, okay, like grease, petrol, lubricant, some material which is required to manufacture the product, but they are not part of the product. Okay, so this is called direct inventory, and the types are like fluctuation. There are more types of inventory, like fluctuation inventory. These have to be carried because sales and production time can't be predicted accurately. You can call them as a safety stock or buffer stock because there is fluctuation in demand and lead times, that is the time required to produce the product. So there is more, if there is more demand and there is less lead time, so you should have some uh, products or finished products already available with you. So this is called as stock or safety stock, and also called as fluctuation inventory. They cope up with the fluctuations of your demand and lead time, the difference between the lead time and demand. They cope up with this particular fluctuation. Then there is another type of inventory which is called as anticipation inventory, where you anticipate in that in coming future there is requirement of this number of products. So therefore you in present time you manufacture that much amount of your product, and you keep it as a stock, and whenever there is demand you sell it. So these are built in advance for season of large sale, a promotional program, or a plant shutdown. Like in Diwali period, there is a requirement of you can say there is huge requirement of automobile. So automobile manufacturers keep the two wheelers, four wheelers ready for the season of Diwali, Dasera. Okay, and at the time of Diwali, Dasera, they sell this product, and during this time also the plants are closed. So therefore they have to plan it in you can say in advance for such a kind of situations. So and then in this inventory are stored for the requirement, for future requirement. This is your future requirement. Like in winter season there is requirement of sweaters, you can say warm clothes. So therefore you manufacture them before starting the you can say cold season, winter season. So similarly this is also called as your seasonal inventory. This can be also called as seasonal inventory. Now next one is cycle or lot size inventory. In a practical situation, it seldom happens that the rate of consumption is same as the rate of production. Okay, the number of products which goes out of the you can say stock house are consumed by consumers, are used by customers. So we always order, or we always get these kind of products which are not easily available, or which could not get easily available. So we order them in a cycle or in a lot size, in a bigger size. So such a kind of inventory is called as lot size inventory. Like there is always demand of 100 products, say. So whenever a customer comes, he purchases minimum 100 units of a product. So you should always have 100 units. If he is purchasing 100 units whenever he is coming, then you should always have 100 units available with you. So having 50 units will not work. So therefore you have to order in a large quantity, in a lot size, so that will always cope up with the demand of the customer. Okay, now this is called as lot size inventory. Then there is transportation inventory. Such inventory exists because the material is required to move from one place to another place, and when the transportation time is long and the items under transport can be served to customer, therefore this inventory exists solely because of time. Because some products are to be ordered, or some raw material is to be ordered whenever required, and whenever it is required, the material should be available. But due to some time constraint, due to some transportation constraints, the material could not get available, so you get delay in your production as well as in your delivery. So therefore some of the material or some of the inventory is should be available with you whenever it is required, and this is only due to the issues of transport, or you can say the issues related with the time. Okay, that particular material cannot could not be available at a particular time, so therefore you keep it in your stock in advance. Then there is decoupling inventory. Such inventory is needed for meeting of demand, for decoupling the different parts of a production system. Now whenever I am saying decoupling of production system, that means you disengaging the different parts of production system. Now disengaging different parts of a system is nothing but using the production system in parts, in different parts, like a part which is required to be machined on three different machines. Okay, so there is a number of units to be produced of this particular part. So therefore, to keep every machine engaged, I'll have different number of units available already with me, so the machine does not get idle, as well as the products get produced on different machines. So decoupling is nothing but disengaging the production system using different parts of the production system simultaneously, and therefore this inventory is called as decoupling inventory. Now this is the last part of today's video, and it is inventory decision. Now the following are the decisions made for every time of inventory. Whenever you want to have some inventory, or whenever you are dealing with some inventory, the three major questions asked are: when to order, when you want to produce, or when you want to purchase the particular material, the particular inventory; when to order, when we want to order that particular material which is required. Okay, then how much to be ordered. Okay, then the amount of the order that is to be you can say produced, or that is to be purchased, is decided. Then third thing is how much safety stock should be kept, how much you should keep the safety stock in your inventory. So these are the three different main questions which are asked before you can say before maintaining any inventory. So when to order, how much to order, how much safety stock should be kept. So this is for it. Today we'll stop here. Now thanks for watching this video. Stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, and keep learning. Thank you.